The cabinet is meeting today and some key reform proposals are on its agenda. Foremost among them are FDI in aviation and broadcast sectors. Well, despite continued resistance from its allies, the government is keen to push through economic reforms, allowing foreign airlines to pick up stake in Indian carriers have been a long pending demand of the domestic industry to boost the aviation sector. But the main opposition for the government has come from its ally, the TMC. FDI in the broadcast sector too is another proposal, with the government considering raising the cap of FDI to 74% in the sector across the board. Disinvestment of 7 PSUs is also going to be taken up in the cabinet meet. Well, headlines today's Deputy Editor Karthikeya Sharma now joins us on the phone line. Karthikeya, it appears more reforms on the agenda of the government. It's been dithering on these issues for a very long time, and today in the cabinet meet, FDI in aviation and broadcast are going to be discussed.
Both of them are very crucial because one, aviation industry has suffered because of global meltdown. Our domestic carriers, they have not performed well. There are a couple of airlines in regional sectors which went completely bust. So the proposal is that you raise the FDI in the aviation to 49% with certain criteria in place. For example, the companies will have to operate from India. They'll have to have specific number of offices. They'll have specific, the specific bank guarantee amount will have to be there. So these are the issues on which the CCA will take a call. But in principle, the issue is that despite protests from Trinamool Congress, Ruchika, the Prime Minister is more than willing to ensure that there is FDI. Another very important issue is FDI in information and broadcasting industry. Now there are two issues. One issue is vis-a-vis equity in the news sector when it comes to DTH and cable digitalization. This investment will allow the FDI to rise from 49% to 74% for infrastructure in DTH and modernization of cable, which means that whatever industry has suffered because of revenues going down because of lack of ad and larger worldwide meltdown implication, this money would, as summed up by the cabinet note, would correct and clean the ecosystem of information broadcasting industry. All right. So I would say that these two would be two important milestones for the Prime Minister if he is able to clear them in CCA and cabinet.
Well, absolutely. Long-awaited push to reforms agenda of the UPA that's going to be taken up today in the cabinet meeting. Well, to understand it further in detail, we are now joined by Headlines Today's Mayur Shekhar Jha. Mayur, we know the best recently in several private airlines in India, including Kingfisher. Tell us, how exactly is FDI in aviation important right now, considering most of these private airlines are cash-strapped, they're debt-ridden? How important is this?
Ruchika, the most important thing that the civil aviation sector has been saying is that it just does not need the money, it also needs the technical know-how of some of the foreign operators. In India, the technical know-how is one of the big reasons why the airlines have not done well. Also, the airlines have not been able to create big ticket maintenance, research and overhaul facilities. MRO is a very critical area as far as the aviation sector is concerned, but the Indian carriers so far have not been able to create MROs, and they have to depend on the MROs of some of the foreign carriers for the overall maintenance and overhaul of their aircraft. So these are the two important things apart from the capital infusion that an FDI in civil aviation will bring into the sector, and this is what the sector has been lobbying for. As for the political consensus, which what we are told is that the government has broadly been able to build a political consensus, so much so that the Trinamool Congress is not particularly opposed to the idea of FDI in civil aviation. The stand that Trinamool Congress is now taking is that it continues to resist any kind of move to bring in FDI in the retail sector, but as far as civil aviation is concerned, because it does not impact the common man and it does not have that kind of a political impact. Right. Trinamool Congress has diluted its stand as far as opening the aviation sector is concerned. Similarly, Samajwadi Party is also in favor of FDI and civil aviation. So the government might now be in a politically comfortable enough situation to push through FDI and civil aviation.